Hi love, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rosenta. I'm a makeup artist based in Asaba, Nigeria. I started off with prepping her skin. I didn't want to skip any of the skin prep step, but at the same time I didn't want it to be too lengthy, so I just filmed everything down to cleaning her face, hydrating, moisturizing, priming, all of that, ensuring that in between the steps the products properly absorbed into her skin as well. Any good thing here about Avour foundations is true. Anyway, I went in with these two shades because I was trying to match her face with her body, because I noticed that her face was a bit darker than her body. I used two shades from the Vee Beauty's lip palette, ensuring that I blended at the back of my hand first before I went on her skin, just to make sure that there are no harsh lines. Up next, my concealing. I also used two shades from Avour Cosmetics for my concealer. I think shades 50 and 60, I think. Well, I had to tell her to be looking at the ceiling, like directly looking at the ceiling, not your whole face but just your eyes, so that I can just get that smooth sailing under her eyes. Just a side note, the Merak beauty blender is the truth. This beauty blender has to be like the most fluffiest, softest, and I think kind of biggest beauty blender I have used. Anyway, I went next to setting under her eyes. I used a pressed powder before I went in with a setting powder. A pressed powder, just making sure that I dusted off the excess very well. Almost everything I do, I always like to build up instead of breaking down. I don't want that cakey look. I always try to build up little by little. It's just more safer for me that way. I went in with the shade Karite from Merak Cosmetic setting powder just to set her under eyes more. Even when I am baking or I'm setting with setting powder, I always make sure to use one layer. That is to dust off the excess from the blender before blending. With nose contouring, I use an angle brush, a fluffy angle brush for the powder contour and her nose. This step, I do it with all my mind, because honestly, I just feel it's either you get the step or you don't get the step. What I mean by that is, if you're able to, make sure that you contour it well, the nose will look slimmer. But if you don't contour it well, the nose will actually look fatter. Honestly, it will be fatter than how it was before. Do you get? So yeah, the trick is to just ensure that the highlighted area on the nose is slim enough. Mind you, at the same time, it should not have like harsh lines that, oh, okay, there's this one line here. No. The powder brush I'm using is from a Viccabel set. I also use the Vee Beauty powder palette, her shade, to not just press the powder into her skin, but to also remove harsh lines that might form between the blush placement and where her setting powder stops. Here I was just using a tamer to tame her brows so that they'll be in place, enabling me to be easier to draw. Part of the reasons why I was filming in time-lapse was because my phone did not have much storage at the time. But if you are unclear about anything regarding this tutorial, you can just let me know in the comments. If it's something that I would need to do a more detailed tutorial on, then I'll try my best. I don't know if you'd noticed, but I blended out the concealer that was on her eyes before I went in with an eyeshadow primer. Where issues start with eyeshadow blending is when you're unable to blend out the eyeshadow primer very well. If your primer is not blended out very well with your brush, then there's every possibility that the eyeshadow you're going to place on it will take that exact same shape. The eyes is already a very delicate organ, and she has a particularly sensitive eyes already, so I made sure to be very gentle as much as I could. And with the eyes, you just want to be tapping in as much as you can, you know, tapping in, moving in with zigzag motion, not really doing too much like dragging. For the eyeshadow, I started off with a transition shade, a powder shade from the Vee Beauty palette, and I just usually go in zigzag motion. For the eye look I was going for, a transition shade can be a shade that is darker than the person's skin tone, or a shade that is actually their skin tone. Most times I use the shade that is darker than their skin tone, because when I blend it up to that point where the nose contour started from, it just gives it a more seamless blend. Depending on the look you're going for your eyeshadow, you have to be very watchful. For me, I always use that end point of the eyebrow to mark it, so I don't take my brush past that area. Especially if you're a beginner, it will be better that whatever you do to the first eye, do to the second. Even me, I don't know if you'd notice that I like to play it safe, but whenever I do transition shade on the first eye, do on the second eye, I check it and then I proceed to whatever it is I'm doing. And even that too, whatever I do on the first eye, I do on the second eye. Hope you're enjoying this tutorial so far. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel. I do try my best to drop as much tutorials as possible. Over here we're trying to build a community where we grow together. The idea is to tap in and then blend out. Tap the product on the eyes which you've gotten from your palette and then blend it out on the eyes immediately. I intensified it more with a darker brown from my Blossom palette. Don't forget that whatever step you take in the first eye, you take on the second eye as well. Just in case you're someone who is starting out as a makeup artist or a personal makeup, I just want to let you know that makeup is not a day's job and it will take time, or it might take time, but the truth is practice makes improvements. Just keep on practicing and you'll do well. This is a one color eyeshadow look because it's just one color that I'm applied on the eyelid, and that is, I think it was a shimmery gold, and I used a flat brush for that. Me and hashlines, we don't used to agree, so down to the latest thing when it comes to makeup, I always try to make sure that I have a seamless blend. So just pay attention to the process and see how I achieve that. That is my pigment glue from Merak, and I did not take too much because honestly you don't need too much. I don't even think I pressed it out. I just used whatever that was on the top to just tap with my hand lightly. And then I mixed a couple of pigments together and I just applied it with a flat brush. OG palette. Anyway, I mixed two shades from my classic palette. The placement is on the highest point of the cheekbones, on the highest point. Products that were not able to be shown in this video, I would leave them in my description box so you can check that out. Meanwhile, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and also if you found this video helpful, let me know in the comments. If you'll be trying anything out, let me know. What tutorial would you like to see next? Anyway, if you are a returning subscriber, drop 2 loves for me in the comment section, and if you're just stopping by for the first time, drop 1 love for me in the comment section, okay? At this point, the whole look was just coming together and I was loving it. You know why they always say trust the process? Trust the process, just relax. Everything's going to come together in no time. That's just to give her lips more definition. I used her shade of foundation, I think, yeah, either foundation or concealer, I can't remember, but anyone works. Okay love, see you in my next video, and until then, do take care. Bye.